Every day, in millions of backyards across America, a familiar scene unfolds that most people barely notice. A crow lands on a fence. It stands still, watching, occasionally tilting its head as if it's thinking about something. Most people assume it's just a bird passing through, but the truth is far stranger. That crow may have seen you hundreds of times before. It knows when you usually step outside. It knows whether you're the person who fills bird feeders or the one who chases birds away with a wave of your hand. What few people realize is that crows don't just see humans. They remember them. For months, even years, those dark, intelligent eyes may be quietly gathering information about you. Who are you? Are you dangerous? Can you be trusted? And even more astonishing, that information may not stay with just one bird. It can be shared throughout an entire crow community. If this sounds like something out of science fiction, wait until you discover what scientists have learned about the remarkable memory and social intelligence of crows. The most unsettling part is not that crows see you. It is that they may know exactly who you are. In well-known studies from the University of Washington, researchers found that crows can recognize human faces with remarkable accuracy. Not just your jacket, not just your walk, not just a familiar hat, your face. Imagine stepping outside on an ordinary morning. You are holding a cup of coffee, walking past the old tree in your yard when you look up and see a crow perched on a power line. It does not fly away. It tilts its head and watches you, almost as if it is reopening an old file. In the world of crows, every human living near their territory may carry a kind of reputation. The middle-aged woman who scatters seed near the back fence may be remembered as safe. The man who throws stones or chases them away from the trash cans may be marked as a threat. The gardener who appears every Saturday morning, calm and slow, never harming them, may slowly become part of the familiar landscape. What makes this even stranger is that crows do not need to come close to learn these things. They watch from rooftops, utility poles, bare winter branches, and quiet corners of the neighborhood. They remember how you move, how you react when you appear, and even the feeling your presence brings. To a crow, the neighborhood is not just houses, fences, and feeders. It is a living map. On that map, there are safe places, dangerous places, food sources, hidden cats, and humans sorted into very clear categories. You may have never imagined that you matter to a crow, but inside its mind, you may already hold a specific place. A signal, a memory, a name without words. So the next time you notice a crow staring at you a little longer than usual, do not dismiss it as random. It may not just be looking. It may be recognizing you. If you find these small secrets of bird intelligence fascinating, consider subscribing before you leave, because right outside your window, nature is quietly recording stories most of us never realize are happening. But if facial recognition sounds impressive, what comes next is even more remarkable, because crows do not just remember you. They tell other crows about you. Imagine a quiet autumn morning. A crow spots someone it considers dangerous walking through a park. Instantly, it lets out a series of sharp, urgent calls. Within seconds, other crows on rooftops, utility poles, and nearby trees begin reacting. What you are witnessing is not random panic. It is a warning system. Researchers have found that when crows learn to identify a threatening human face, that information can spread through the community. Birds that never directly experience the threat may still react strongly because they learned from others. In other words, reputation in the crow world does not exist only in individual memory. It exists in collective memory. Most people assume that when an animal dies, its knowledge dies with it. But the reality appears far more complex. In several long-term studies, scientists observed reactions to certain human faces continuing across multiple generations of crows. Young birds watch how their parents respond. They listen to warning calls. They observe the behavior of the flock. And gradually, they learn who should be avoided. Think about that for a moment. A young crow may have never seen you before. It has never been chased by you. It has never watched you do anything at all. Yet the very first time it sees your face, it may already carry an opinion that was passed down from other crows. Like a story told over and over within a community. Like a file stored away for years. This helps explain why some people are puzzled when crows in a particular neighborhood seem unusually wary of them. The reason may not be in the present, it may be buried in the past. A small action from years ago could have become part of the collective memory of a local crow society. What makes this so astonishing is that it happens above our heads every single day. On power lines, on fences, on tree branches outside our windows, an information network is operating. A community is exchanging data. And sometimes, the subject of those exchanges is you. But this extraordinary memory is only part of the story. Because to build such a sophisticated social system, crows must possess a level of intelligence far beyond what most people ever imagined. So what is really happening inside that small black-feathered brain? The answer is far more than most of us ever imagined. Crows are not simply smart in the basic sense of knowing how to avoid danger. They can solve problems, plan ahead, use tools, and sometimes make humans feel as if they are facing a creature that is truly thinking. In some crow species, especially New Caledonian crows, they do not just pick up random sticks to reach food. They choose materials, bend them, shape them, and modify tools to fit the task in front of them. That may sound simple, until you realize how few animals can actually do this. A crow may see food hidden deep inside a narrow crevice. It cannot reach it with its beak. It cannot pull it out with its feet. But instead of giving up, it finds a small twig, adjusts the end, and uses it like a hook. This is no longer just instinct. This is reasoning. In other experiments, crows have been placed in front of a tube with a reward floating inside. The water level is too low for them to reach it. But when stones are placed nearby, they begin dropping the stones into the tube, one by one. The water rises. The reward moves higher. And eventually, the crow gets the food. The astonishing part is not simply that it drops stones. It is that the bird seems to understand that its actions can change the physical world around it. It knows heavy objects sink. It knows water rises. It knows the reward will come only after several small steps. That is the kind of thinking we once mostly associated with primates. But in your yard, on your roof, beside the trash cans near your porch, a similar intelligence may be quietly at work. And that intelligence is not used only for finding food. It is also used for communication. Crows have many different kinds of calls. Some gather the group, some warn of danger, some signal food. Others become sharper and more urgent when a threat appears. To human ears, they may all sound like the same rough caw, caw, caw. But to crows, those sounds may carry very specific messages. Who is coming? Where is the danger? How serious is the threat? Is it worth calling the whole group? So when you hear a crowd of crows calling loudly outside your window, it may not just be morning noise. It may be an emergency meeting taking place right in your neighborhood. The next time you step into your backyard and notice a crow sitting quietly on a fence, take a moment to look a little longer. You may think that you are observing a bird, but there is a good chance that it is observing you as well. For months, perhaps even years, it may have been remembering your face, your routines, and the small actions that you yourself have long forgotten. In the world of crows, you are not simply a stranger passing through. You are part of the map, a name and a shared memory, a file that continues to be updated every day. What makes this story so remarkable is not that crows are like humans. It is that they remind us that within our familiar neighborhoods, above our rooftops, and outside our windows, there are complex minds living alongside us. A hidden world is unfolding every single day, unnoticed by most of us. And somewhere right now, a crow may be watching from the highest branch in your neighborhood, and it may know exactly who you are. Have you ever felt that a crow recognized you? Or maybe you've even received a strange little gift from one. Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to read it, and I'll reply to as many as I can.